This has been a week of both promise and disappointment. If you're a stock market enthusiast, this has been a week full of highs and lows. If you, like Teresa and I, have family and friends living in the rural areas of our region, it's been a week of concern and anxiety for their safety as fires continue to wreak havoc in our area. If you're following the political campaigns as we approach Election Day in November, well, let's say it's just been 1 week among more to come, full of emotion and uncertainty about the future. You see, the bottom line is that we're in a season of turmoil and change in our world as a whole, and that only compounds the change that we each are experiencing on a personal level in our lives. Job markets that are continuing to fluctuate, changes in educational structure, issues related to retirement, and social upheaval just continue to expose any sense of confidence or arrogance that we might have in our lives as lacking any foundation, and it elevates any sense of uncertainty, insecurity, and instability that we might presently have. But that's where God speaks into our lives with a word of assurance and invitation through Psalm 2 that we've been looking at. In verse 7, it continues like this: I will proclaim the Lord's decree. He said to me, "You are my son. Today I have become your father. Ask me, and I will make the nations your inheritance, the ends of the earth your possession. You will break them with a rod of iron. You will dash them to pieces like pottery." And these words spoken by the king that was introduced to us in verse 6 reveal a couple interesting realities. First of all, we see that there's a special, unique relationship between this king and God. And secondly, this special relationship comes with unlimited access to power, authority, and dominion. But you might say, where's the assurance in that? Well, if we look at this text sort of backwards, like we learned to read the Bible, looking through the lens of the New Testament into this text, we see that this text in Psalms is pointing us ahead to Jesus. In fact, it's the book of Hebrews who uses this passage in Psalm 2 to explain how Jesus is our great high priest. And the book of Revelation employs it several times to reveal that Jesus is our coming king. And this idea of a king priest is expounded even more in the book of Hebrews as it reveals that it is a role fulfilled by Jesus and him alone. As our king priest, Jesus has access to everything. So as our priest, we can approach him with anything. You say anything? Absolutely, just anything. Our doubts and fears, anxieties and questions, frustrations and irritations, our hurt, disappointments, anger, and even the thoughts and behaviors that often have the power to condemn and destroy us are among the many things that Jesus gives us the assurance of having everything we need for relief, redemption, and recovery. As the prophet Isaiah proclaimed from the very lips of God, he said, "No weapon forged against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you." This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord. Now that, my friends, is real assurance. You just say, what about the invitation? Well, this Jesus, our king priest, is the same one who entreats us in the Gospel of Matthew when he says, "Come to me, all you who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest." You know, I only know what wears me out and weighs me down these days. But I also know that you're intimately familiar with those things in your own life. But the invitation that Jesus extends is the same for you and me. And that is to find rest in him, the only one who has the ability to listen and represent us before God, but also possesses the power and authority to put down whatever threatens us because he is in fact God. So my friend, if the craziness in our world today is teaching us anything, it's to run. But to run straight to Jesus and the rest that he and he alone provides, because he cares for us. Regardless of what you're encountering today, what you're experiencing in life, know that Jesus loves you and He's just awaiting us to turn to Him and find rest. God bless you all. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow.